Hey everyone, welcome back to Christine's channel. The project for this weekend is in the back here. Actually working on the shower area and the cabinets or the closet doors and the drawer that go there that are the one edge of the shower. I've got the door panels that we're going to use that I've got to cut down, so we're going to start making measurements, get ready for the hinges, and then probably start putting up some of the frame that we're going to use for the little bit of shower walls that we have where the sliders go on. The shower walls themselves, we had to order those and they take 2-3 weeks to get in. So that's actually going to be the longer part of the project, unfortunately. I thought about, and I still might just go get a temporary, just a little piece of paneling, even though it's not waterproof, it'll last for a little bit because I'd like to have the shower ready in 2 weeks because we go to the track for a weekend. And since we're racing both days, it would be nice to shower in between. But we'll see how far we get. But right now we're working on the doors for the closet. We'll walk in and show you what we're working. Here's the area we're working on. Again, this closet door here, this needs a door. This will be a drawer, and this then needs a door also. So you can see I've put one of the hinges up just to see how much we would get. It actually was, I had to find a fairly large overlay here just because of the inset and then the 1x to clear to try to cover this all the way to here. I don't know if I could find something to cover all of that, but that's not my intention. I still want to be able to slide things in and out of here if need be. So I just got one to cover just the extruded aluminum part of it. Here's the panels that we're using. These are actually leftover panels from when we had our kitchen built 20-some years ago. They're actually painted. They're a laminate, but then they're painted. So they're not waterproof. You can't soak them in water, but they're basically waterproof, this side of it. So enough that the shower, with the water that we get on it, wiping it down, this should work out just fine. At least that's my assumption. I won't know until we try it. I tried to build the upper cabinet so this would fit almost exactly, and it's very close. I do have to trim this edge just a little bit because, again, we don't have enough. I can't find a hinge to overhang enough to clear both the extruded aluminum and the slat wall. I've decided I didn't want to cover the slat wall anyway, just because I want to be able to slide things in and out. I know you should be able to slip things in there, but just in case I need access to that, I didn't want to have to cover that up with the door. Obviously, you can take the door off to get to it if you wanted to, but I might still put a piece of trim on there, something that I can take up and down easier than a whole door. Here's the hinges that we're using. It's a Blum hinge. And again, it just covered the distance that I wanted, 1 3/4 for the overhang there. And to make these work, I'm sure there's jigs out there for them to get the right offset. And I've seen, tools for it and so forth. But it just, I don't know, made sense to me to just build one. So I, took the hinge itself. It's 35 millimeters. So, again, we need a 35 millimeter bit. And then what I did is I used, I drilled in different distances for the offset and then kept putting it in there until I found the right offset to make the hinge work. So I mounted a hinge and then just used that till I got the right offset to get that to clear when it's open. If I can open it, there we go, to get it to clear when it's open. And it ended up being 1 inch from this edge here to the center to get this to clear just right. Now, maybe that's the way they all are. I have no idea. I don't do this enough to know that for sure, but maybe they're all 1 inch and any jig would work. But either way, I just made one. So now I can take this, line it up on the edge where I want it, clamp it together, and now I have a nice, even with a handheld drill, I have something nice to drill my hole. These doors are not the exact right size, so what I'm doing is going to rip them down here to make them the correct size. They have to come off. This is the bottom one going where the toilet goes. I'm going to rip it down this way for the height, and then I'm going to have to rip the back end off here to get the width that I need also. I put a new blade on the radial arm saw. A clean finish blade. Hopefully that will not mar this up. When I cut the same panel, it wasn't a door, so it wasn't rounded. When I cut the same panel for the inside, what we use then on the one wall, what we use on this wall here, it cut actually very cleanly. So hopefully this will do the same and not chip. We will see in a moment. I did a test cut here just off my line a little bit just to see how clean it would cut, and it cut very cleanly. So the saw blade is working very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset it and cut that last little piece off there. This one's trimmed down. You can see it obviously be mounted higher, but it'll just go right in like that. Open it up, you'll be able to pull the toilet out. This is a big door, but we made it this way so that way there wouldn't be a break in it for 2 doors, because I don't want to have to protect the water there. The shower doors will slide and close here and on the inside there, so there's no, it'll cover this gap. So the only way for water to get in will be at this gap and that gap, and then this gap here, but the only place water can get in, and we'll just have to rubber seal or something along those, but there'll only be 2 spots to seal. If we did the door halfway, which would be better because these are heavy, I'm gonna actually put 3 hinges on this one and 4 hinges on that one. Now that might be overkill, but that's what I'm gonna do to make sure we can hold it up. So here's the way the jig works. Just line it up flush, and then I can put it in. I've got one drilled here. They have to go in about 12 millimeters to make this fit the way it should. You can see it fits real well there. And these 2 will get screwed in. Like I said, I'm gonna put 4 in here because of how heavy this door is. It might be overkill, but it's in a van. It bounces up and down the road, so I just don't want it to have something that will bust these off too easy. So we'll drill 3 more, and then we're ready to mount it in the van. I've measured on the outside here to figure out what depth I need to get my 12 millimeters into the door here, and that turns out to be 30 millimeters overall. So I just keep drilling until I get to that 30 millimeter mark and make sure it's even all the way around, and then we're good. The hinge is mounted, and again, 4 might be overkill, but this is definitely a heavy piece. Normally with something this size, I would think I would make 2 doors out of it, but as I said, that's just not the option I want. So I'm gonna use extra hinges, and hopefully this mounts up and holds up well in the van bouncing down the road. So to put the latch in it, obviously, but I wanted to get it up so I knew exactly where to put that latch. So I'm going to drill that out, put the latch on it next. Made it, again, everything's been measured out to try to fit it within the inch. You can see it just clears here. The shower head, I didn't think about that. With it pointed in the right direction, it just hits. So I might need to adjust that depth-wise. I'm still not sure if this is the shower head we're going to use. It says it's 1.75 gallons per minute, but that still might be more. We might need closer to 1, so we might switch this to a different shower head. But again, we'll see. That's why I bought this faucet, as I said in the other one, because it has an on-off on it. I can actually control the flow. It just depends on how well it sprays out of that once you do that. But problem for a different day. Right now, we have a cabinet door. So here's the locks we're going to use. They actually do lock. Not that we need to lock it, but they just happen to. But again, this is the lock we're going to use. It's stainless steel, since it's in the shower area. And then basically a hole saw to cut the hole for that. Now we just have to measure out in there where to put it and drill a hole. Hope we don't mar the finish too much. Cabinet door number 1 in. And here is the cabinet door for this toilet. Again, obviously the toilet's on a slider here. A little tougher to do with one hand because we do have locks on both sides, just to keep it in check there. There we go. Voila. Restroom. And close it and you got the shower. Like so. and instructions. How about that? All right, so here's the kit. It comes with then the side panels. You make your own base and your own back, and then that means you can set the size width-wise, whatever you want. It comes with 2 undermount sliders. I wanted that so that way you maximize the size of the drawer itself. Here's the back made up. Now, you can see that piece that you add on here has a little standoff, and that's so the clips go in. It's actually made for a little bit thinner piece than what I have, so I made a little groove there. That way it will fit in. Actually got it upside down. Sorry, there we go. Like so. And it just clips in. And see, it just clips into place then. Now we have to then make the base fit this shape. So it will slide in and then get screwed in from the bottom. And then you have the makings of a drawer. And here's the drawer now. Obviously I don't have a handle for it because I'm waiting on some more of these slam latches to come in, but either way, it fits pretty well there. I have to adjust the soft close part of it. There it goes, but it's awful slow to get there. Now this here is exposed, so this could get damaged from the water, but it will get a seal on it. It'll get a rubber seal, which I'm going to silicone down, so that way this is tight here to prevent water from going in there during the shower. There we go. So we have a closet drawer, our cabinet doors, all functional.